Can you tell us about the claim process if someone needs to make a claim and what that would look like for a homeowner?
Absolutely. And it kind of depends on which company you're with. So some companies are going to ask you to call their 800 number and report direct. I generally find clients don't really like that. They come to us as an agent for a reason. They want help and guidance through the process. So we tend to advise our clients to call us first. Let us take that incoming information. There are a few circumstances where they should maybe talk with the claims adjuster right away. Maybe like a fire where we've got something very big and they need money immediately. We might have them report to us and then right away get an adjuster on the phone. But in general, you would call your agent, you would sort of explain what's occurred. The data loss is important. When did that happen? What time of day? And if it's something where there's potential to have continuing damage, so say you've got, hail damage or water leaking through the roof, you need to, as the homeowner, do what's necessary to stop any further damage from occurring. So that might mean, doing some sort of quick tarping or something like that to kind of prevent further damage. That is a responsibility of the homeowner. You can't just sort of sit back and say, I gotta wait. We had a few bad circumstances in the derecho again, where people just didn't know what to do and they did nothing. And that then caused, ensuing long-term damage. So there's that. So you report and then we get it off to the company. Generally within 24 hours, you're contacted by an adjuster who will, take maybe the information again, get a little bit more detail, and then they're going to advise you what's going to happen next. So they would say, you can get an estimate, or maybe they're going to come look at the damage themselves. They may be sending a third party vendor to come out and take a look or start some repairs. In some instances, they might send out like a service master or something to begin the cleanup process if it's one of those kind of claims. And then a lot of times what happens is you get your estimate from your carrier. And they say, here's your, especially on home, here's your amount of projected actual cash value. So this is where it gets complicated for people. It'll say, here's the actual cash value of the damage. So in other words, this is what we anticipate it to be, but most people have a replacement cost policy. So there is a potential that the cost to repair is going to be greater than what that amount is on their estimate. And then they start worrying, I'm not going to get paid in full for my damage. It's not necessarily the case. It just may be that you need to begin the process of repairing or replacing your items. And then once you're complete and you've got your receipts, you turn those in and you get your reimbursement up to the replacement cost. So sometimes people get a little fearful when they see that estimate and think, oh, I'm not getting paid in full, I'm getting jacked around or something like that. So not always the case. And that's a good time to have an agent because you can then have that explanation to you and then you understand. So,
right.
And that's about it. Then you get paid, hopefully.
Right. That's the point of having insurance, right?
Yes, that's the whole idea.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that storm though, I know it kept you busy for I'm sure it still is.
Yes, and it is, and we're still dealing with it, and we'll probably still be dealing with it in several months. It's one of those so broad of a claim time, and now we're heading into winter, and so unfortunately, a lot of the damages aren't going to be repaired before winter comes, or I should say completely repaired. They're probably at a place where they're not going to have further damage, but things may not be 100% yet. That is a good point. You do generally have up to 2 years for that kind of repair to be completed before you'd have any problem with your policy. So a lot of times people get nervous about that. It's November's here, my house isn't done, my company's going to cancel me because my roof isn't right. And that's not the case. You have time. And we're aware, that we're short on materials, we're short on labor. And so it's going to take a little while.